show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Turning a Moment into a Movement. My name is Jay Love, and I represent the Justice for Gerard movement. Gerard is my son, who was wrongfully convicted of a crime that he didn't do, innocent, and end up in prison. Gerard's story and his journey is what birthed or allowed me to birth this turning a moment to a movement. Gerard was in prison. He suffered from severe Crohn's disease in which he needed infusions. And so we had to fight for him to see specialists, fight for his health care. On all of that, and as I was advocating for Gerard, I met so many others on this journey. And I'm so grateful for them because this is why we're here. And we come here every Friday at 6 p.m. to educate about wrongful convictions, talk about injustice, period, and also to inspire and motivate you all to join along in the movement to stand up for the innocent. So I thank you for joining us. Today is our first day on Twitter. So yay, Twitter people. If you're watching us, hi. We're on, we're on a few platforms. We, of course, here on Facebook Live, but we're also on YouTube Live. Yay, YouTube people. And we're also on, this show is also put into podcast form later on. And you can listen to it on Anchor, Amazon, Spotify, iHeart, all those platforms. So we are everywhere. We're trying to reach everyone because wrongful convictions are epidemic and it's worse than the pandemic. So thank you again for joining us. And I'm going to bring on the panel. So first, let's bring on. Greetings. Hi, Trisha.
Hey, Jay, love my sis. How you doing?
I am awesome. How about yourself?
I am great, and hello to everybody watching. We missed y'all since last week, so how y'all doing?
Trisha, first, before we even get started, we have to thank everybody for joining us.
Yes, oh my God. I can't even put into words, Jay, how grateful we are just for everything that took place on last Saturday at the Wrongful Conviction Summit. I tell you that just the spirit of love in that place, and even though we were discussing heartbreaking things, and you know, in the words of Congresswoman Dingle, she said it was gut-wrenching to hear the mothers, you know,
right.
And it wasn't a dry eye in the house, and if it was, I don't know what was wrong with them, but I will say that the love that flowed in that place was amazing, and it just felt so good for us to come together as a family because we are a family. Sometimes we're divided, but at the end of the day, sometimes your brothers and sisters get on your nerves too, and we are still family. But you know, we were all together as one, and it was just amazing. So thank everybody. Thank you to WC3D Northwest Campus, turning a moment into a movement. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib and Congresswoman Debbie Dingle, Senator Jeff Irwin, Dr. Abdul El Said.
Yes.
We had all the integrity. We had the integrity unit from Washington County.
Yes.
The Innocence Projects from U of M and from Cooley Law.
The exonerees.
The exonerees were there. You know, we got to save that till last. The exonerees and the mothers and the wives and the families.
Yes.
My goodness, just shut it down. Just share from their hearts. And so we thank you all so much because you all are the reason why we were even there. You know, to just hear, you know, the stories and just like I said, just to feel the love. We just want to thank you, the exonerees and the families, and just thank everybody. Just thank everybody. Even our Jody White, she did the filming.
Yes.
Lawrence did the sound and took the pictures. He got some good pictures.
Yeah.
It was just amazing, and we're grateful for that. But we on to the next, so stay tuned. MLKJ, are you a threat to injustice, y'all? MLK Day 2022.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Trisha, tell everyone what you do, because just in case this is Twitter first time, so tell everyone what you do.
All right. Well, hello, Twitter. We are happy to be here with you all too today. I am Trisha Duckworth. I'm the executive director and founder of Survivor Speak. By profession, I'm a social worker, but I'm an activist to my heart. I love direct action. I love showing up at meetings, challenging the status quo, interrupting business as usual. And we will tear down what we don't want to see, but we have the gift to build it back up, and we got to do that together. So thanks, Jay.
Yes, you're welcome. All right, let's go to greetings, Reverend Tia.
Well, greetings and hello, Twitter. Since you're the first time we're first time on Twitter, and just so excited, still excited, still. I told Trisha, I said, we needed that. Yes. I am Tia Littlejohn. I'm so glad to help support every platform that I am a part of. And as a minister at Transforming Love Community, one of the many ministers there, I still continue to really focus on love everywhere I go. Mm-hmm. And love does not mean I'm going to lay down and take punishment unnecessarily. Love does not mean that I need to embrace discrimination. Love does not mean that I will not act and get out there and be a voice and an advocate for those who are underserved. Love means that I'm going to act. I'm going to take action. If somebody says they love you and they don't take action, you need to question.
Yes.
Love is an action word. It is a verb. And so we need to act upon the love, not only love in some type of ideal. And that's why I'm here, because we don't want to just operate in an ideal of justice. We want it to be real. We can no longer accept an ideal that people can come to the United States and you will have justice. You can live, you can thrive. That's an ideal. It's not true. And as we recognize this, let's make it true. And we make it true with our personally first, ourselves. Mm-hmm. As a transforming coach, because I'm all into nutrition and helping people, transform their lives every day. But more than that is, what am I doing with myself? And so everyone on this platform, everyone who comes to the table, they are looking also, and that's why I love it, because we all are looking at, what am I doing individually, even before I come with you collectively, so that I can help and really be an asset to the society. So thank you so much. We are ready. We're still burning. We're still ready to go. And I'm telling you, the love that we had at the Wrongful Conviction Conference was phenomenal.
Yes.
And we have to continue the work. We have to continue. Look, Trisha got right back out there. She was out in the trenches a couple of days later. I said, oh, Lord, I got to praying. I got to really praying. I said, Trisha going to keep me on my knees. Thank you so much.
You know what, Reverend Tia, thank you. I don't know how I forgot this. Thank you to the volunteers. Oh, my goodness. Y'all held that front door down. I got to say it, Reverend Tia, Gail Summerfield, Kate Wilhelmi, Michelle Pearson, Elisa Dyer, Patrick Boheim. I mean, everybody, Jody White, everybody that volunteered, we just say thank you. See, that's the thing. You know, people don't understand. It takes a village.
Yeah.
It takes a family. You know, this was no one man show. This was everybody
Yes.
at one place at one time declaring that we will stand together against the injustice of wrongful conviction. And we ain't done yet.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. All right. Hey, Allie.
Hey,
How are you?
doing?
Great. How about you?
I'm good. I'm just listening to y'all and just choosing. I'm over here like, I'm so happy to be with y'all.
So today is our first day on Twitter. So introduce yourself, Allie, and tell everyone what it is that you do, just in case this is their first time turning in.
Yes, my name is Alexandria Hughes, and I am an activist in the metro area, work with different organizations, multiple, but mainly the orgs I work with are Michigan Liberation, Accountability for Dearborn, of course, Justice for Gerard Movement, Survivors Speak, Livonia Citizens for Black Lives. You know, I'm focused on the Detroit area, and my passion areas with my profession is mental health. I work in the mental health industry and activist by heart. So I am happy to be here, and I'm happy to be fighting with you all. Oh, you can follow me on Twitter at AlliePsych1.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you, Allie. And last but not least, our last panel member for today. Hi, Attorney Hugo Mack.
Much love and respect. Much love and respect. You know, and I'm just sitting here, look at all these beautiful Black women in front of me right here. And it's a beautiful thing. You know, and I had a chance to share a moment. I got to sit next to Allie Hughes too. I mean, she was there all bubbly. You know, Tia Littlejohn, you know, all smiling with her pretty self up at the front desk and all that. And then, you know, here we got J Love filming. I mean, I said, I done stepped off into some heaven here. So look, I am so honored, although my time there was cut short because of a client commitment that same day in the afternoon, but I was there and I was a part of it. And Trisha and all of y'all, Tia Littlejohn, it charged my batteries so much. When I had a chance to walk around the pavilion area, the perimeter, and I saw those different booths that were dedicated to people that had been done wrong and wrongfully convicted, it charged my batteries. You know, it really, really did, you know. And so for me, my name is Hugo Mack, a veteran criminal defense attorney, 40 years criminal defense experience in and out the penitentiary. I understand what it means to pay a debt you didn't owe. I've dedicated my life not only to, first of all, glorifying God and Jesus Christ through my efforts, because he certainly brought me back from hell to be on the battlefield right now. So I'm very grateful for that. So the reason I became a criminal defense attorney in the first place is because growing up in Ann Arbor, wonderful Camelot that it is, I had a chance to see some instances where really the racism was just astounding. Absolutely astounding, you know, under a veneer of equality, a liberal town, all that kind of stuff. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype, okay? You know, coming up in Ann Arbor public schools, tracking, I know all y'all are too young to remember tracking, but you know, that's where they would track certain students, say, well, you're really not college material. Get a job working with your hands. And there's nothing wrong with manual labor and stuff, but it was always a disproportionate amount of Black students that got tracked into the manual laborer kind of thing and not college prep courses, you know. So I remember that quite distinctly. They were officially, quote unquote, ending that when I was coming into junior high and high school. But I remember many stories about a lot of Black guys in Ann Arbor got tracked, you know, away from college prep courses, which was really an acronym for you need to stay in your place and don't really have ambition to do more. It's okay for you to want to work for somebody, but it's not okay for you to want to own your own business. That's not okay. That's not okay. So I pride myself on my ability to see in jury selection and cross-examining police and forensics experts, some of the systemic racism that is built into the system. And I want to send an alarm now to all of you. I'm sure you know this already. Michigan is one of 12 states that's considering legislation to ban what they call critical race theory. Okay, presenting that in school, and it's getting traction. It's getting traction, and really all that is an effort to keep Black people misinformed and to keep white students misinformed as to the history of this nation and how racism does affect every single aspect of our life. It does. It does. So I'm troubled by that, but I'm doing everything I can to try to push inclusion and equality. And so criminal defense attorney, like I said, understanding what it's like to pay a debt, but dedicated to seeing people that are not only wrongfully convicted, but overly convicted. They're a big class too. Overly convicted individuals be able to receive the justice they deserve. So I'm proud to be here. I'm honored. I'm still on cloud 9 from last weekend. And so it's a beautiful thing. And I'm ready to do this.
And so, and for the listeners who are not watching, if you want to contact Attorney Hugo Mack, you can go to www.hmacklaw.com. Again, that's www.hmaclaw.com.
Absolutely.
All right, had to get that in there.
Thank you.
Because really, we all are resources.
Right.
If people need, help, they can contact Shay, Reverend Tia, Allie, and of course you, Attorney Hugo Mack. And if you guys need help getting to them, then contact me. I'll help you get to them. Okay.
All right.
But we all work together. So before we get started, because I want to bring in our guests now, and then we got some stuff to do, y'all. But I want to bring in our guests. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
How are you?
I'm fine.
So introduce yourself. Let everyone know who you are and what it is that you do.
I'm Samarra Willis, and I am an advocate. God led me to do wrongful convictions. Well, advocate for those that are wrongfully convicted. But I advocate for prisoners, also other prisoners that are inside of the prison system that need for their medical, whatever their needs are. I'm there to advocate for them, and I advocate in other ways too. But at this time, right now, starting a little bit last year and then before, the Lord led me to wrongful conviction cases. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm also advocating now for Good Time. I'm one of the advocators, volunteers over the Detroit area for the Good Time bill, and we do have a bill. We got it last week. S as in Sam, B as in ball, 649. So I thank everyone that has supported that, and that's what it's all about. I just try to be there wherever the need is, and to be able to help those that are voiceless and those that need justice.
So Samarra, you are a powerhouse.
Oh, thank you. I like to stay humble, but I thank you all.
I'm an advocate. No, she's a powerhouse advocate.
Thank you.
I know one of the people you were advocating for, you got over 30,000 signatures.
Yes, with the loneliest mercy. Yes, that was a blessing. The Lord led me to him, and I thank him for letting me advocate for him.
And you did that all online?
All on Facebook, and on Facebook. Look, Twitter. Hello, Twitter. I tried, y'all, but I don't know what's going on. But I tried other ways. But yes, the Lord led me through Twitter. Through Facebook, and unfortunately, Facebook likes to block me a lot, and say that I'm spam and all of this. But no, I'm advocating, and so like I say, the other day I was blocked. I heard there was a crash. And I say, you know what? You better be careful messing with God Anointed, because he used me on Facebook, and I was not working that day because I was blocked.
Oh,
but anyhow, yes, I use Facebook. Yes.
Wow. Now that's major.
And friends and families, that understand, but mostly was on Facebook for that petition. Yes. Wow. And when I met Thelonious, when I met him, contacted him through prison, he had like only 2,000 signatures at the time.
Wow.
I thank God for using me as that vessel, and all glory to him.
Yeah,
and Thelonious is a free man today.
Yes,
with the help of his attorneys and everything. But I just did a petition to get his story out there.
Yes, and you did an excellent job. So
Thank
I want to
you.
commend you on that
Yes,
because
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I know when Facebook went down, I'm like, oh wow, we got to figure out, other ways
I,
of, utilizing our platform.
yes,
And
I
so
need to have a
that's why we're on Twitter.
yes, and I need to have a little sit down with Facebook too, because like I say, I'm tired of getting blocked now. I got work to do.
Right.
We need to
Right.
find our own platforms, you know.
Oh,
Right.
don't we? Yes, we need it. Yes, we do. We
Yes.
need it.
Zuck had an ego. His ego was bruised, and he shut it down for the day.
Yeah,
Hey,
he
A whistleblower. He
hey,
had messed
all
up.
of it came crashing. And
Hey,
I was
let me
telling
know next
everybody
time
like,
you do Twitter. Let me know. I've done a few Twitter storms in my day. Okay, with accountability for Dearborn, we do.
Oh yeah.
In Michigan Live, we do a ton of Twitter storms.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely let me know next time you're doing internet advocating.
and I wanted to say, J Love, I did make it over after the good time. I was over at an expungement event in Detroit, which went very well.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told those there, you have a second chance, and those that are in prison with this good time, they're looking for a second chance too. So that really went well that day. And then I ran over to you all's event, and I have to say it was great. Um, in so many ways. I mean, they were on point at the front. At the front, like I said, everybody had their mask on, so you ain't got to have no problem with nobody saying nobody got in there. Wasn't doing no. It was. Oh, I'm talking about it was on point, and everything was so organized. And I mean, it was just a great event. And the knowledge, listening to the attorney. I think his last name is Mueller. Am I
Oh
saying that right? The attorney that spoke up. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, Wolf Mueller, Attorney Wolf
Yes.
Mueller.
Yes, and to hear him say, and see, that's where I want to be at. I want to deal with the laws, you know, and again, and to hear him educate us and say how these laws are in place. Because when I do my wrongful convictions, the case that the Lord has led me to, mostly all of them are Detroit homicide cops or whatever that were corrupt and that were exposed being corrupt. So when you have a law that won't be able to prosecute those, I mean, like I say, we got to target that law. And I know that's the area too that God has led me to because I want to target what can make the change and the laws make the change,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And like I said, we can all come together and sit and talk about the stories. But if it's no pen, as my organization is called Blood in Your Pen, if it's no blood in that pen and you writing and you petitions and things like that, that's where you get them at.
Yeah.
And we have to change the laws to cancel these laws, and we have to, and that's what it's all about.
Exactly. And we just want the people to be encouraged because the power is with the people. We have the power.
Oh, we have the power.
Yes. All we have to do is just take a stand.
I mean, I've seen some visions. Yes, just visions. I mean, I've just have visions of just sitting at a round table, everybody coming together, because that's another thing with advocating. You have to be very humble because it's not about you, it's not
Mhm.
about your organization, it's about you being used as a vessel. It's about those. What are you going to do for them?
Right.
I'm talking about someone that you maybe never will ever meet, but you will go to bat for.
Mm-hmm.
You
Exactly.
know, that's what it's all about.
Yes, ma'am.
And like I say, I don't anything that I've done, you know, I do it not for gain of anyone else. I do it because again, God has chosen me to do it, and I have to go and attack what is not right.
Right.
And so in that too, I have to be careful events where I recently I was invited to an event, and I have to be careful because I have to say this. I do not debate with people that's supposed to be on the same level that I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
I only debate with the those that are against the people. But I would never ever come and let anyone try to debate me on what I know and what I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of things that I don't know, but I'm a willing vessel. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
never debate with those that's supposed to be with me. Because if those are supposed to be with me, what I don't know, you're supposed to educate me.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to be open to be able to receive that education.
Mm-hmm.
So again, as an advocate, I have to be very careful where I go and who I deal with.
Right.
What you were saying about having a vision that really resonates with me because
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay, there you go. I got you.
Oh, all right. I was saying what you were saying about having a vision that really resonates with me because it all starts with vision. Like if you don't believe things can change, then it won't. Like it starts with the belief that it's possible. You have to carry that wherever you go. And then, your comments in regards to being chosen and just speaking up. I feel like that's why I've been in so many, just going and helping so many people because I'm just like I'm just wanting to help the movement. It's not this group that I
Yes.
need. It's no, I'm linked to all these groups because I just go help. Like that's
And
all it
Yeah.
is, and anybody can do that.
a willing vessel, a
Be
willing vessel. So you're
powerful
going to
when
go
we
through
do
many
that.
doors.
Right.
Yeah, we're powerful when we do that.
And thank
Yeah.
you. I was speaking one time at your event with the mental health and
I
Oak
know.
Park.
Yes.
And thank you.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for that. That hits home because my father, he deals with mental health. So, and I help a lot of, I advocate for a lot of veterans also to this disabled to get their benefits. And I have helped them and I have won a lot of them and sat at the round table with the judges. And a
Yes.
lot of the judges have said, you a bulldog. You sure you didn't go to law school? I said, no, I'm thinking to myself, I wanted to go, but guess what? Hey, when God send you there, you'll come up with, hey, it's all in the belly.
That's
Right.
that's so needed.
And so again, but what you were saying, Allie, you had to see it, you had to believe it, you had to be it, for it all to manifest. And and you got to feel it. You got to know it's going to happen. All of those things, they work together.
Hmm.
Um, Samarra, I want to let's talk about who you're advocating for right now.
Well, right now I'm advocating for a couple wrongful convictions. I don't believe in leaving my assignments,
Mhm.
even though they can get tough. You deal with the prisoners, you deal with the families, and it can get tough. You deal with their lawyers, which a lot of times the lawyers don't want to deal with you. You
Mhm.
know, So again, I've dealt with that before, as kind of looking down on us, but I'm here to help, and so right now doing wrongful convictions, a couple of them I'm finishing up on, and then there is a gentleman that's been in prison for 50 something years. I was just given his case. He was supposed to be paroled, and they didn't, and the law was supposed to protect him. He had life. So I'm just reading yesterday. I was reading his appeal, dealing with him on JPay. So I'm learning more about his story. But he's been in there 50 something years. Now he was supposed to do the 22 years, which he did, and they were supposed to be able to release him, but he's done an extra 30 something years. He's older, very frail, and so I look forward to seeing what the way God uses me to be able to help advocate for him. So that's one that all of them are important to me, but that's one of the new ones.
The medically frail is a big one. I mean, after a certain point, once your health start failing,
Hmm.
why are you still there? You know what I'm saying? It's not even serving a purpose or punishment. It's almost inhumane.
Especially when you have a law that tells you that you've done this many years, and then we'll let you out, and 30 more years you're still there. And
Right.
then in those cases too, when we're dealing with murder, I like to look at the forensic, the bullets, and see, because I've been led to a lot of cases, and the Lord has put it even in my spirit that a lot of times these shootings are not from the person that's wrongfully convicted bullet. But how many police officers will admit that that was their other partner's bullet, or that was someone else's bullet? I'll give you a quick story if you all remember this. Remember, there was a gentleman that he was ended up killed, but they were called out to a cabaret or something, and there was a dog, and the police dog ended up getting shot, and they said the boy shot the dog, but it came out there was the bullets of the police officer
Mm-hmm.
that killed his own dog.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are the cases too that I kind of like hungry for, because there's a lot of corruption in that and hidden,
Mm-hmm.
and you have someone that look bad and judged in the system, really, when they're not even the ones that did the crime in that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, mhm.
Right. I think we had a case like that recently, like last year or something, where they shot someone's dog or something. It was the
It was
police.
out there like in East Point or something. Yeah, something out, the one I was talking about. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I like those, but you won't see that many stories like that because those are cover ups.
Mm-hmm. Attorney Hugo Mack, are you familiar with those kind of stories? Attorney Hugo Mack. He must be froze.
I think he's froze because he's still.
Tia, do you want to? Oh,
There he
okay.
is.
Attorney,
He's unfroze now.
Attorney Hugo Mack.
Yeah, I got froze out for something. I mean, I thought I was being nice to you ladies. They don't need to do me like that.
Samarra was talking about like stories where there is police shootings and then a person can be charged with murder, but it's not the murder didn't happen with their gun or something.
Right. Well, you know, I heard her talk about a police dog. Mm-hmm. You know, there are jurisdictions, and Michigan may be one of them. If you shoot a police dog, they count you as shooting an officer of the law.
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to understand that, and think about what that really says. Think about what that really, really, really says. They have elevated a canine, okay, a canine to the status of a human being. Therefore, they want you to have as much respect for that canine while it's trying to rip your lower arm off, okay,
there you go,
as you do a police officer. And if you kill that dog, then that is a crime of assaulting or trying to maim a police officer. When you have laws that say there is an enhanced punishment for killing a police officer, which nobody wants to see happen, or some kind of constable or some kind of government official, some people may say, well, we need laws like that. But when you say that, you elevate that individual's life above the life of the suspect. You understand what I'm saying? You elevate that person's life, and you elevate that dog's life to on par of the suspect's life, okay? Because I assure you that when I hear about these wrongful conviction cases and police and shootings, look, you know, everything you see on Law and Order is not made up, all right? A lot of that stuff is based on fact in terms of when police will lie and cover up and turn the other way simply because it's convenient to do so. When you go through these police, you know, look, I don't want, look, I'll be talking for an hour. You know, there are over 80,000, over 17,000 police agencies in the United States of America, okay? And what I'm saying is when you have these little kingdoms by themselves without federal oversight of them, they set their own policy. They set their own policy, which puts your life, my life, everybody on this panel's life in danger because they have no standard. They have no standard. You know, a chokehold can be legal in a lot of jurisdictions. So when I hear about these wrongful convictions and the sister was talking about, I understand quite well. I've seen it happen so many times with tainted evidence, a blind eye, a wink and a nod by police in collaboration with prosecutors and medical examiners too. I'm not keeping them out of the mix too, because as we've seen with the Detroit Crime Lab, there's plenty of corruption to go around everywhere.
Right. I know. I was just thinking about when you said a dog. It was just recently, maybe about 4 or 5 months back, a case in Novi where there was a police chase and the police officer was using the dog to attack the person. And I mean, he was really attacking this. It was like brutality. And so, of course, the dog is trained by the officer to respond to his commands. So in that case, you know, you can't blame the dog. You have to blame this officer who constantly was walking away and telling the dog to hold on to him and don't let him go. And he was doing all kinds of stuff. Like, you know, he wasn't a human. It was inhumane. So, Tia.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, these stories are so horrific. They're just so horrific. And the thing about it is that at some point, it's like, it's just wrong. And we can change policy. We can change policy. We can change policy and we can alter practice. However, you still have the mind of a person who was supposed to be implementing that policy or that practice. And do we change that? Do we change the mind? You have to change the person, you know. So we got to get rid of these people who are in leadership positions, who are in civil positions and operating in an inhumane way, you know. So I'm really questioning, the story about the man who served and he's been in 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm looking at it from a policy. I'm looking at it from policy and practice. I'm looking at like, how did that happen? Who dropped the ball on that? I mean, they should just be trying to hurry up and get him out. Like, how do they get away with that? And I guess that's my question. I know she probably just got the story. She's sharing it. But I was wondering how many other people are like that?
Many more.
In serving all these years after the time that they were supposed to serve? They can't just let those people out. I mean, where is the bill that says let my people go, everybody who has served time, just let them out now? It should not be another day.
Another one.
Not another day.
Right.
I people come to me sometimes and they say you get so involved, and I'm like, emotionally, yes, but if you put yourself in that person's shoes, it's like you need to do something, just to let it go by or to act like it has not affected our community.
Right.
We can't turn our back on this anymore.
Right.
So I'm so glad for the work that you're doing.
Right. Because what we're talking about can happen to anybody.
Any of us.
It could be any of us at any time.
Yeah.
You guys, go ahead.
Real quick, Reverend C in my business, you said that people got to change their minds, and I will take it a step further and said people need to do a heart check.
Yeah.
When we do this work, most times people are in their head. When you're dealing with human life, you got to open your heart. And if you don't open your heart, you won't have the necessary tools to really advocate on behalf of people the way that you need to. I tell people all the time, don't advocate for me like you advocate for me. Advocate for me like you advocate for you. Because if you advocate me for like you advocate for yourself, then I know we will get somewhere. But until we check our hearts to see where our hearts, we want to wrap our mind around something, but we need to wrap our heart around it.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the humanity? Like like nobody has a heart. Like, where's the humanity? Policy work, absolutely. But after create the policies to hold people accountable, we need to do that in the community. And there comes the culture change work. And there comes the heart check, the humanity that needs to go in place. It's way overdue. It's way overdue. And just every day I'm seeing different things that encounters Black people have with the police. I can't help but think about what happened with the man in Ohio, in Daytona, Ohio, the paraplegic man, and that touches on two intersecting things, mental health as well as racism. That's a way too common issue, and that's how it starts. That's how wrongful conviction starts. That's how mass incarceration has gotten to be. And it's just way past time for like some policy to hold him accountable. There's no way they should have been able to pull that man out of the car for no reason. He couldn't walk, like he said that. Like there's no way they should get it done.
Right. Ooh, that takes me to this video. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no. Go do the video. I remember this. It was what
Go
she was
ahead.
saying.
No, you can do it right now.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna wait because
Okay. All right. We're gonna go see that we're talking about wrongful arrest. We're gonna go to this video.
Okay. Oh no, please.
Hey, why are you kicking him? Why are you kicking him? Why are you kicking him? What are you doing kicking him? Why are you kicking him? You are not a police officer. Why are you kicking him? Why are you kicking him? He's not a police though. What is y'all doing? Why is he kicking him? He not part of no police. Hey man, he don't have no badge. He did not punch you. He was on the ground. He was on the ground. He did not punch you. You kicked him when he was on the ground. You kicked him when he was on the ground. He's not part of no police. No, I can stay where I want to go. I ain't got to go nowhere. You ain't got to tell me where to go. I'm on the sidewalk. She can move. She got license. Hey, move the car. 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 Because they bogus. He bogus. He shouldn't have kicked him. I got you on tape. You shouldn't have kicked him. I don't care. He on the ground. He was on the ground. He was on the ground. He was no threat. He was no threat. He was on the ground. He was on the ground. He was no threat. He was no threat. That man kicked him on the ground. He was no threat. I got license. I got insurance. Move the car. Move. Hey, move the car. Move the car. Move the car. Cause he bogus, man. I got license and registration. He bogus, man. He bogus, man. He kicked him on the ground. It don't matter if he got license or what, man. He not part of no police. He don't have no badge. He don't have no right to kick him on the ground. He kicked that man on the ground. Rather he punched him in the face. He waited till y'all got here. I seen it all. He waited till y'all got here, man.
Okay. That happened in Redford. Redford on the border of Detroit. The tow truck driver kicked the young gentleman while he was on the ground, and the police, looked the other way. Didn't do anything. Attorney Hugo Matt.
Well, thank God for smartphones. Thank God for smartphones. 20 years ago, we wouldn't have seen that. And what is so shocking about that? I don't know how recent that was.
Friday or Thursday or Friday.
Okay. But the odds are that tow truck driver is not going to be charged. because you have to remember, police don't charge anybody with anything. Prosecutors do that. Okay. And so the reason, and I hope I'm wrong in terms of that tow truck driver not being charged, because if he's charged, that brings up the specter of, I saw at least 4 police officers in that scenario. I didn't see near one of them intervene to stop that man from kicking that man. I didn't see near one of them arrest that man. You see, a police officer can arrest you for a crime committed in his or her presence.
Mm-hmm.
So if you walk up and bust out somebody's car window in the presence of a police officer, guess what? Your butt is getting arrested. Okay. So if you go up and punch somebody in the mouth in the presence of a police officer, guess what? Your butt should be arrested. Okay. So what I'm saying is, when you've got the police, they become actually, if not conspirators, co-defendants, if you will, in a wrong, because they condone that wrong. Okay. So it's a tragic, heartbreaking thing to see, but I've seen scenarios like that at least 1 million times. And, you know, I certainly hope something can be done about it, but I'm sure there's going to be a scenario that the gentleman was combative. You know, there was a report of an assault and the police were just trying to get control of the situation. But that man was kicked when he was helpless. So, yeah.
I have an update on that. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry I had to leave the camera. Mosquitoes started biting me on the nice porch. I'm sorry, I had to go. So I have an update because I did run across that video, and I sent the gentleman that a message that actually taped the video, thanking him, and also finding out if he could find out who the gentleman was.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was trying to find out if it was Redford's or Detroit, and it ended up being Redford's. But the tow truck driver was fired.
Yeah.
Of course, I wouldn't trust Redford to even try to arrest him. I'm just saying, as an advocate, I felt that going to the prosecutor, you know, which is Redford, Wayne County, Kim Worthy, that would be your best thing to do. And then also found out that tow truck driver has gotten many awards from Redford Police, you know. So again, like I say, when you see that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying, you just know already, like you said, what you're saying. But even listening to you, attorney, and saying, listen to you when you said, you know, how they will make up the stories. That's what we have to somehow confront. They make up a lot of stories. They make up a lot of things that are not true, but somehow that it has to within us be the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you know, I remember I had a cousin to say, you know, that the whites, you know, whatever, you know, that's that old ancient spirit that's in them, you know, and trying to get them to change. Sometimes, you know, I even, you know, that's a lot of time that's impossible. It would have to be really something, you know, again, I don't think us human would have to do. That's something sometimes God would have to just lay them on their back or something. But again, that is a strong, you know, we're dealing spiritual. That is a strong spirit that they have been dealing with for years. And so that problem, you know, a lot of them are doing it. It's not like you got a couple of them, a couple police departments. A lot of them are doing it, you know. And when I say doing it, I'm talking about those that are racist, you know, doing these wrong arrests and different things like that. And I just, you know, I just wanted to send those the gentleman and his girlfriend a message, or whoever the young lady was, just commending them, because again, do you know what could have happened to them? You know, one, they were able to even keep the phone. And so, but again, you know, doing someone exposed it. This tow truck driver, he did get it fired, but again, he's worked with them, and they said something about he's worked with them before and helped them with arrest or something like that.
Yeah.
How does he even get him? How do you even let him get involved in that? You know,
he not only gets arrest, help them or detain people or whatever they said. He's in charge of the impound yard.
Oh no!
So he works directly with the police. That's why he had the accountability, the picking and all that stuff he did. He just didn't think he was going to get caught doing it on camera.
And that brother made me mad. I'm sorry. That brother made me mad. He came to the situation for one. Anyhow, I wanted to say something, but he don't even look fit to be chasing nobody. He needs to sit down somewhere. But he really made me mad because, again, he's just a complete sellout. That woman, I'm sorry, if I was there, I'd be asking y'all, look, I'd be having y'all outside rallying for me because I'm just saying she was wrong. All of them were wrong. All of them were wrong. And see, when I see stuff like that, I want all of them charged. All of them. I mean, we gotta hit this thing so hard that, again, we send a message that we have never sent before.
Yes.
And I'm not saying our ancestors didn't fight, whatever. We know they fought and they did what they had to do, because believe me, a lot of them were hung for even doing the things that we're doing. But again, we got to hit this thing so tough because it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop.
Yeah, like don't be afraid to agitate.
They're not going to stop. They're not going to stop.
Right. And in that video, if you look at it, the tow truck driver pushed the young man in front of the police officer before he even responded.
Yes.
So the police officer was like, yeah, he did it, but he pushed him first in your presence, and you did nothing.
Did nothing.
So
that's their little guy.
Yeah, he was comfortable. He was comfortable, and then if you heard, I think it was the woman police officer said he loves the police. He loves the police. What's funny, because when it was going, you can see the words at the bottom, you know. And it was like, did he for real say that? So I don't know which police officer said it, but so I guess what I am saying is that behavior is seen and depicted as support for the police.
Right.
See, the police are saying, this man supports us. This is how we are supported. This is the behavior that supports us. Is that the behavior that supports you as the police officer? Do your job. I'm just looking at, who's going to do their job? And I am done with the ancestry. I love my ancestors, y'all know. But what I am saying is we got to change the expectation. We got to expect change.
Yes. Demand it.
We expect change now. No, you don't get any more years to get comfortable in the transition to change. No more of that. We expect change, and we expect it now. And that has to be, we have to be that. We got to be like bulldogs with this. We expect it. Now, change is our expectation.
Yes, I agree. That's what I'm talking about.
They've been calling me a bully all week, right? I'm cracking up. I said, no, I ain't no bully. I'm a bulldog for justice.
There you go.
They love to say that, Sashay. They love to do that.
As long as you don't come up against the people, and as long as you don't create injustice, you ain't gonna have no problem with us.
Right.
You do, then we coming. And that's the thing, like, I hate that it's such a norm for silence and for us to be complicit. Because that's why when all of us are raising our voices, we look like outliers. And it's like, no, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the most American thing you can do.
And I really think we need to, I don't know, y'all, we're going to have to talk, because I think we need to go shut Redford down and just do a little agitation out there. But the thing is this. I think you said, Reverend Tia, for them to do their job. They were created to be slave catchers. They were created, their foundation was to come up against us and do everything that they could do to try to tear us down. So, of course, they don't care that the man kills them. And I'd be willing to bet, just like y'all said, he's done stuff before. This ain't his first rodeo. We don't know who else he done kicked or punched or did something like that. But one day he gonna kick and punch the wrong person, because the police won't be able to save you, you know, when you come into the hood with that behavior. You need to stop it. But the thing is that as sick as this stuff is, the sicker part for me is our lack of action when these things happen.
Mm-hmm.
We need to cry loud and spare not, like the word says. And people think that just means, us religious folks. We want to
Like we just
be
come on.
common circumstance and little fluffy stuff. No, that means when you see injustice,
There you go.
cry loud and you spare not. That means that no matter what it takes, no matter what you have to do. That's why it's no one way. They said, it's no one way to skin a cat. Is that what the old folks say? You got to try everything that you can try. Go through the front door, the back door, climb through the window. Do whatever it is that you need to do, because I'm telling you, look at that. That was a level of comfort. They used to that, and they're going to do that until we raise our voices. And the number one thing we got to do is come together. Until we do that, then we're going to have problems. But I promise you, if we ever come together and really get on one accord
tell it now. Tell it.
The move of God like we never.
Shut it down.
God, everybody praying to. I'm talking about the God that is within, that will ignite and rise up out of us and allow us to see change in this earth. Some folks waiting for their pie in the sky. I want my pie right here. Okay.
Yeah.
That is so true, sister. You said it, you sealed it and said it. And that is so true, because even when we're dealing spiritually and when we have that, at the same time, I mean, I may be spiritually, but I'm not going to sit here and just and not say anything, you know what I'm saying, and just not do anything, you know. And again, some of that has even caused those that are bold, you know what I'm saying, just bold as a person, to be looked at different, even in their spiritual, you know, connection, you know, with others. But again, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Like, they don't have one to put me in, and they don't have one to send me up there in. But like I say, but that's what it's all about. And I never like to get into the challenge thing, but I will say this: what you gave us today was something, and we can't walk away from seeing this. So I'm just saying right now, every one of us here, I don't care if it's just those that we have here, we're powerful. Let's write a letter to Kim Worthy demanding that man be charged. I'm just saying, from seeing that video, because this is the thing, when we see things, we got to do something about it. Everybody saw that video. How many people reached out to the prosecutor? Let's get bold. That was something that came up to me when I saw it, a couple, you know, saying, oh, they ain't going, you know, but let's get bold today. We saw that for a reason. Right. I'm just saying, we saw that. We have that within us just here right now. Even our listeners, you have that. Let's make that assignment right now this week, that we're going to send a letter to Kim Worthy demanding that he be charged. And I even like to go further than mine. I want to see all the other complaints against him. Right. That maybe Redford has even covered up. Let's put his face out there. Let's find out if he's done anything else to somebody. Even impounding their car. Let's find out. Right. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to reveal those that are wrong, evil, and evildoers. Right.
Expose. We are in the season
of exposing. We are to expose, and people don't understand it. This comes with, and I don't, you know, this comes with a lot. And sometimes, you know, hey, if it even put our life on the line, that's how I look at advocate. Sometimes, hey, you may speak up against the wrong one, and that's it. That may be your life, but I've done my purpose.
Right. And we can't think like, you know, people like to say you need money to make changes in America. No. You need to have some kind of resources. We are the resource. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, look at history. Look at 2020 itself. In any major movement, whether the Black Lives Matter movement, whether whatever movement, it took the people to move it. We are breathing and living on this earth. We are what keeps it going. Organizations leech off of people to keep themselves going. They leech off of the animals. They leech off of the earth. But if we all are on one accord and value our lives, value humanity, we can move everything, because nothing moves without us.
Yeah, nothing. Absolutely. You know, the thing is that we've got to just learn and understand our power and what gifts and talents we have to bring. You know, the thing is this: we've got everything we need. We got it before we even came into this earth. Our job is to just tap into it. And for me, I don't care what, I'll use whatever gift and talent God gave me for justice. Whether it's singing a song, writing letters, whether it's speaking truth to power, whether it's acting, whether it's whatever talent that I have. And I would just encourage everybody, because we did a seminar back in February, and we also done one in April, Are You an Activist? And the reason why we did those series, because we wanted people to understand that everybody's an activist. You might not be that one on the front line with your bullhorn. That's okay. You might be the one that's doing the research. You may be the one that's starting the letter writing campaign. You may be in charge of the Twitter storm. You may be the one making cookies for us when we on the front line, because we get hungry out there, okay?
Right.
The role is play your role. Stay in your lane and do what it is that God has anointed you to do. So you can't do what I can do.
But I can. Hey, come on, you can't wear my shoes.
But you can do what God anointed you to do, right? All those puzzle pieces together, that's when we get that beautiful tapestry of what we are when we are united, powerful.
Yes, you making me think of the song, There's Room at the Cross. There's room for you. There's room for everybody.
We all need each other. We all need each other. And it's just it's the time now. It's the time now. It's a new season. And I always love the new seasons, because it's time to get ready to go to war. You know, it's a new season, and it's time for new things to come, in, and it's time to attack new things, even the old ones, And so that's what it's just about. I just wanted to say one more thing. I don't know if you all noticed too. You see how, God is exposing Oakland County. It's been about time. And yes, and thanks to the new prosecutor that has heard, new department in there that has released those that are wrongfully convicted. And then also too, from what she was saying, and I've heard Kim Worthy say things, but from what she was saying too, is that, with that ex-prosecutor, as an advocate, what we're to do too when this happened, and those are like that exposed as prosecutor, we're to go into the prisons and to let them know who was your prosecutor. Who was your prosecutor? Even if you wasn't wrongfully convicted, who was your prosecutor? Do you think was there some corruption? Was there something with your case that didn't happen right? They have a right too, even if they did do something wrong. But again, those politicians, those in office, they took an oath. So that's another thing too. We got to start reminding them about their oath. They took an oath. And especially when you said, and I don't want to be so spiritual, but especially when you said, God, or put your hand up, you got to be very careful. You playing with fire, but you took an oath to serve. And so you have to do that. And we have to make sure that they're doing that. So as an advocate, I want to see, and this is what I'm going to deal with the prosecutor office, and just again, send a letter. And I'm firmly believing when you put that pen and that paper, you go get something done. And I hate to say it, I've seen a lot of other races do this years ago, and they get a lot of things done. You don't do your job right, if they write a letter, you're going to be good and fired. I'm just saying, you're going to be good and fired. Okay, I'm just saying that pen and that paper ain't nothing to play with. But I want to see all his cases investigated. Another quick thing, since we're talking about wrongful convictions too, because when someone asks us the numbers of wrongful convictions, and Jay, I think this would be something good we all can work together with. We should know those are inside every facility in this here Michigan prison, those that are saying that their cases are wrongfully convicted. We shouldn't have to look at numbers with exonerates, I'm sorry, those that have been exonerated to say, well, this is the number for wrong. Ask us right now today. And that's something for me when somebody asks me, how do I look this up on Google? I said, what is this stuff? No, I can't. We got to get out there and find out. Get somebody over each prison, or some of us on 5 prisons, but we got to find out, what's your case number? What we got to know how many are out there. That's for us to do.
Because
so I would love to,
when you look at the number of exonerees, you think, oh, okay, 30. It must not be that many.
Nah.
But there's a lot.
A lot.
We heard their stories. Some people's story we'll never hear of because they took the plea.
Yeah, there we go. Yep,
and that's a whole another conversation, but we done had it about the plea deal trap. But some of these stories you'll never hear of because they get out of prison before, like in Gerard's case, he got out early, before anything can happen with his case. So there's a lot of stories that we don't even know. We're just skimming across the surface of these wrongful convictions. But when you see the comfortability of police that would, do little kicking and just looking the other way, and just stuff that we just watching this video amongst other things, and dragging a paraplegic out of the car, just stuff like that. What else have you done that we didn't see? What else have you done? You saw you drag that young man, but you were so comfortable with dragging him out that car like that. What else have you done? In Detroit, we have a police officer who had like 85 complaints.
Oh, no. That's ridiculous.
Stephen Q, they was talking about him a few weeks ago. 85 complaints, right? So 85 people took time out to go complain about him. So how many more? There has to be way more that just say, "Oh, forget it, they ain't gonna do nothing," or
We're talking about young black men too. Black men that went out and did this and probably feared for their life, but they went out and did it.
Right. And so how many others that didn't do it that we're missing the count of? So we can't just, take these numbers and just think, oh, it ain't that much. We telling you every week that this can happen to anybody.
Anybody.
Attorney Hugo Mack tell you, he lived through it. I lived through it with my son. It can happen to anybody. And so when we see injustice, we're not supposed to be quiet, because silence is consent. We have to stand up and do something. It could be you. If it was me, I want somebody to say, hey, help me. I want somebody to help me. So it could be you. That's what we have to, and what Trisha earlier said about the heart. You have to have a heart to understand that this could be you. To be able to say something, to be able to do something. You have a heart for compassion and empathy for others, that you don't want to see anybody else go through something that you went through, or somebody else survive something like that. Reverend Tia, I got you.
Yeah, what I was going to say was that the expectation of racism is not only, or the expectation of the action of inhumane treatment. I don't want to, just because racism is not, and I'm not saying that it's not predominantly against people of color, but what I am saying is it is also predominantly against, in every structure, people who are underserved and people who are considered poor economically, or in poverty. People who don't have the money to get a good lawyer and to fight back. They don't have it. People who, when you look at how many people who are incarcerated who have mental illness or who have autism, who could be easily led into admitting they did something when they didn't, for an ice cream cone. You have all of these different scenarios. And so what we have to understand is that the expectation of wrongful conviction is not only in the perpetrator, but also in those who are oppressed. Both are expecting, because it's happened for so very long. It's almost, well, that's the way it is. That's just the expectation. That's just how things are. That is the narrative that we have to change. That is why we come here every Friday, because we got to change that narrative in our mind as if that is okay. Who told you? Who told you that treating people like that was okay? and that we have to accept it. Well, that's just the way it is. No, it's not. Up until today,
Thank you.
up until right now, up until right now, that's not just the way it is.
Right.
We got to expect something different. We are changing our expectation. That's what I wanted to say.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Trisha.
Whatever we think, it was said earlier, that's what we manifest. That's what we manifest. And so like you said, what are we speaking out of our mouth? What are we thinking in our mind? I'm thinking about justice every second. I'm thinking about justice every second and how it's going to manifest in this earth. And we keep talking about coming together and changing laws. And I just want to say we are relaunching the Michigan Wrongful Conviction Task Force. We started back in 2019, and COVID kind of just threw everything under the bus. But we got work to do. We need to end absolute and qualified immunity. And I keep saying this, we do not have to wait on them to enact laws. We can get things on the ballot ourselves.
Yes.
Don't have to be begging these politicians. No, we can get out here. We got to get with my sis and figure out how to get these signatures. and we can get it on the ballot ourselves. If we're waiting for someone to come and save us, I just want to tell you right now. Hold on, come close. They're not coming.
Thank you.
They're not coming.
Never. Never.
They're not coming.
I'm sorry.
Even the ones we vote for, they're not coming.
You may as well just go ahead and understand it right now. The person that we're waiting on is you. If you join in this fight with us, we can get more done. We need all hands on deck. I'm so tired of us just sitting by the wayside and when it happens to us. And that's okay. I've done it too. I didn't know that all of this stuff was happening, but doggone it, when I found out, I put my hand to the plow, and I'm encouraging us all to do the same.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you, sister.
Yes, right. Yes, Attorney Hugo Matt.
Well, once again, I'm ever encouraged, and the admonition I have to members in my profession, particularly people of color, specifically Black people, when you're in court, think about the moral arc of the universe that is controlled by God himself. And the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. I heard Al Sharpton say one time, if you're not going to do something, get the hell out the way, okay? Get the hell out the way, okay? Because you stopping me from throwing a block. I if I can throw a dang block, get the hell out the way. And so what I'm saying is, for me, as a practitioner, I pray to God every day, give me the courage to speak up. You see, the problem is with some of these, I got to be careful here, with some of these.
I was gonna say, I bet he got to be careful. We got you.
Because I'm gonna tell you what. They got a group of people in Lansing. They would have an all-night orgy to burn my law license. So I've got to be somewhat careful. So what I'm saying is, I pray attorneys of color, of all colors, speak up. Don't just sit there in the courtroom. You see the judge over sentencing this man or woman. You see this prosecutor berating this defendant. You see that wrongful evidence that's coming in. Say something. Well, me saying something ain't gonna make no difference. Yes, it is, because you put in the moral universe a voice. In the moral universe, you put a voice of justice, and God himself is listening. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Because when they used to crucify Christians in the Colosseum, it took a point when people was willing to say, kill me if you want to. I'm not turning my back on my relationship with God and Jesus Christ. And guess what? And guess what? Over time, the emperor himself became a Christian. The emperor himself became a Christian. But what I'm saying is, I just pour my heart out to future attorneys and advocates. Speak up, because your time here is limited. All right, is limited.
There you go.
And you're going to be judged when you stand before God. Say, Attorney Mack, weren't you in Wayne County Court that time? And you knew good and well that judge was berating that.
Woo-hoo. Come on now, say that.
And what you did was put your head down and didn't say nothing. Is that true?
Ooh.
Well, you're going to be held accountable for that. To whom much is given, much is demanded. Okay. So anyway, God bless you and I love you, and we're here together.
My God. Ooh, that was so powerful. Just, oh my God, that was just so powerful. And not to just jump, but when you were saying that, the Lord had been dealing with me, and I would just say what you were saying, as we call the lawyers sellouts, and there's many of them that we know by faces. And I guess I would ask you this question, attorney. How do you feel about starting something among the attorneys that are Black? Because again, you all hold a different type of position too. Which is a blessing, and it should always be humble, But how would you feel starting, because the things that you're saying right now, they exist, but how would you feel about starting something like that with other Black attorneys?
Well, they've got the Van Zitty Hamilton Bar Association, of which I'm proud to have been a charter member, by the way,
okay,
in Washtenaw County. And, I do things to support other attorneys, like young attorneys that come in, young attorneys that coming into the public defender's office. So, in terms of me starting it, we've already started it on a case-by-case basis with lawyers that I interface with. And I've got to say this. Who you elect as prosecutor is so crucial, okay?
Yes.
Because I'm in here fighting from my end of it. If I've got a partner, okay, on the other side, who is willing to seek justice the way I am, that is a large part of the battle. Because, in Washtenaw County, we made a change, okay? And it might not have been a change I personally voted for other reasons, but because I thought I was better qualified. But Touche knows all that. But be that as it may, we work with people that we elect. And I'm proud to say in Washtenaw County, it is a change of night and day. Night and day. So, sister, when you ask about doing things, it's political activism to get these sorry ass judges up out of here.
Yes.
Think they own these courtrooms. You got to bow down, genuflect when you come in. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people, they don't understand. When they come into the courtroom wearing that black robe, I'm standing for the position. I'm not standing for them. I'm not standing in homage of them. Okay?
Right.
See, and the problem is some of these judges, they think you stand in homage of them.
That's true.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, like you're supposed to bow down. Yep, just like that's how they are.
So it starts with the individual and us being out there, and I'm doing that to the fullness of God and Jesus Christ.
Well, you keep doing the good work. Thank you. And then when those other attorneys, turn their cheek and you see it, make sure you tell them, I saw you turning that cheek. So I know, but I'm just saying. But no, you keep doing the good work.
Well,
yes, Attorney Hugo Mack. We're gonna get ready to leave. So, is there anything else, Reverend Tia, that you need to say?
Oh my goodness! You know what? I've been so enlightened even more today. I think every Friday it gives me a push to be everything that God has called me to be, and I am really advocating for everybody to do a personal inventory, to be all that you can be. I'm encouraging you to walk in justice in every area of your life. And I'm encouraging you to become involved and to say yes and ask God to lead you to where you need to be an asset. If it's giving, but whatever the Lord tells you to do it. Because you're not only blessing others, you're blessing yourself. You're learning. You will it is life-changing to be on the other side helping people who cannot help themselves.
Right. We take our pain and make it purpose.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yes,
I
thank you
appreciate
all.
you all. Thank you, Samarra, for joining
Thank you
us.
all. Yes, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You have an open invitation. So anytime
Yeah.
you're working on something, let me know. There's something coming up with you tomorrow, right? There's a rally for good time in Flint.
Yeah, they have it in Flint tomorrow, but I take care of my elderly dad and my aunt. And I don't know if you all see this. I'll be soon advocating for my mother. She was misdiagnosed, malpractice, negligence. And so starting next month, it's been a year that I'll be advocating to change some laws in Michigan about not being diagnosed. And so she passed out and just died and found out that she had an enlarged heart. She went to all her doctors, went to a heart doctor. Actually, he was one of my doctors. They said, as you get 40, you make sure you go. You know how they say to Black women, we need to go and things. And he never diagnosed my mother with that. And she died. And she could have still been here today if she would have been living with the medical treatments that those have. So next month, I will be advocating for my mother. I don't talk about it that much, but I'll be advocating for my mother.
Yeah. And the injustice of healthcare. I mean,
Oh, that's a whole nother.
So that's why I won't be there. I'm sorry. That's why I won't be there, because I take care of my elderly father and it's very far. But I've been, again, they know I got their support, they got my support and everything.
Yeah.
Because we're all together.
Down there tomorrow. I got y'all back. I'll be down there. I'm going to see my parents. And so I'm going to slide through the rally. So I'll be in Flint at the rally.
Yes. Thank you all, everybody, for that support.
And then there's another rally on Thursday at the Capitol.
Yeah.
Shut it down up there. And then,
no, you all keep doing that good work. And that's what it's all about. Everybody.
And we want to send love to Sam Riddle and Mary Waters and Agnes Hitchcock and everybody who were downtown. They shut down downtown Detroit today.
Shut it down.
That was today?
Yes, that was today downtown. They
Facebook had me blocked, so a lot of things I didn't know about. But yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. We are powerful all together.
Right, we are powerful when we stand
and
up.
And they scared of us. Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
Do y'all know they scared of us? They scared of us.
They don't want us to organize, but when we organize, we win. That's
we powerful.
Yeah. So we love you guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next Friday, 6 p.m. for turning a moment into a movement. And until then,
you're doing a good job, Jay.
Thank you.
The vessel, everybody.
God bless, man.
Yeah. Take care, attorney.
God bless you.
Reverend, God bless you. Keep us in prayer, Reverend.
Pleasure.
Yes, yes.
Pleasure meeting you, sister. Pleasure meeting you. All right.
Yes. Yeah, sister.